Hello. It is day 56 of 365 days of my raw suspending disbelief journey. It is June 17th, 2024, and today was um, my summit event that I have been working towards for the last little while. And let me tell you something. It wasn't even just for the actual event that I was putting on today, but all day today, all the tech, all the tech. I was having sound issues on a live joint card pull with Kelly. I was having my music shut down that was to be my background for my live guided shamanic journey that I was doing. So then I had to, pull a random piece of music out of my ass basically and just be like, here you go. We're going to do it to this because I had to work with something in the moment, right? I had to come up with something on the spot. And that was, anyways, all turned out well for what needed to happen, as it always does. Um, when you're the one leading it, you question, right? You've got these the fact that I had to stop and restart, did that, ruin the experience for people? Um, and so on. But what ended up happening was multiple people who were there um, talked about the fact that they couldn't clearly see their higher self. And I was really happy to hear it, actually. And the reason that I was happy to hear this is because that means they were fully trusting and only receiving what they're ready to receive and not projecting their pre-misconceptions about their higher self onto what they were seeing. So therefore they were able to um, receive the messages that they were supposed to receive without there being a lens of something that they were imagining that they were seeing that wasn't actually true. That means that they leaned into trust. And that is very, very powerful. So, all things said and done, of course, as usual, everything is fine at the end of the day. And, um, we made it through the whole thing and everything was fine. I had to keep on hitting restart on my music because I had I think it was like a 3-minute clip, and I just had to keep on pressing play on that whenever it would stop. Um, it was part of the pieces of music that I had created into an entire long thing that would have lasted for the entire guided journey if the music app that I was using hadn't crashed. And you guys, the level of tech crashiness that was happening today was literally, I had a crash report that tried to send and that crashed. I it literally was like failed to send crash report and I just could not stop laughing. I was cracking up. I was just like, this is the most ridiculous thing. Um and I mean it's fine, right? It's like I could have gone with what happened today and been so frustrated and been beating up on myself saying like I'm just not cut out for this, or I am, of course I had to screw up with tech, of course this, of course that, or the more negative aspects in that sense. And um it just wasn't like in the moment. I was, I wished that it was working smoothly and it was a little bit embarrassing and things like that. Like it's just a matter of like frustration with having to have people sit there and wait, which is really great because it brings to light the fact that there's still a part of me that is feeling um, feeling like I'm not worth waiting for, I think is really what it comes down to. And that is it's a small feeling, like it's buried below all the feelings of good self-worth and healthy self-worth, right? But um that it still came up says something. And the beauty in that is that now I get to take that information and work with that. I get to learn from that. I get to um look at that shadow and understand it and know where it came from and accept myself for it and integrate the healing that needs to be integrated in order for me to stop feeling that in situations like that, because everybody has tech issues and I know everybody has tech issues and I know that it doesn't frustrate me to wait, and all of these things. I know all of the logical pieces and I know all of the mindset and I know all of it, and it's just another layer of the same thing that has come up before. So I always feel grateful when something like this is shown to me, where it's like, oh, there's a little bit of frustration. There's a mirror of the emotions that, I thought were gone. I thought were dealt with, kind of thing, and it's really powerful. When you're choosing to do it from the right perspective, it's really, really powerful. So, um, yeah, it was a little hump that I needed to get over as far as doing live group guided shamanic journeys. I've done live group guided meditations, and I mean, I've been on screen, I've gone live, I've been in front of a crowd of people. It wasn't about like the number of people that could show up or anything like that. Um, but I was really nervous this morning, and it was just because it was that one little difference, right? That it was a shamanic journey, that I was taking them into journey, holding the space for multiple people at once, all of that. I have guided single people into journey and I have guided groups in meditation, but they're just a little bit different. And I had some nerves around it, right? Where it wasn't like, can I really do this? I knew I could do it, but it was just the unknown, right? The not even fear, but it was stretchy. It was something unknown. It was something new. And I love that feeling. Like, I love doing things that are stretchy for me and then moving beyond it and being able to say, like, I did that. That's done. What's next? Right. And that's one of my favorite feelings in life. And I know a lot of people dread it, but I love it. So I did have some nerves though. Like, I was messaging Jess and Kelly and like, oh, you guys, like, send me some calming energy, because I'm just like, right. Um, but it really was, and this is one of my favorite things that I ever learned from Mel Robbins, was that it really is, excitement and nervousness feel the exact same in your body. And so when I started feeling those like nerves coming up and squirmy tummy feelings and whatever before the time for it today, I was able to feel into that and just like, instead of assuming like, "Ah, I'm so nervous and I'm freaked out and all this stuff," I was able to feel into it and be like, actually, I'm really, really excited. There is a little bit of nerves there, but most of that is excitement. And then, because I knew it was like this perceived positive, quote unquote, right? Because I don't really fully believe in any negatives or positives anymore, but this perceived positive of, um, I get to, like, I feel excited versus I have to, or I feel nervous. And so then when it was this positive feeling thing, I was able to just sit with it and go, okay, like, I'm going to just ground some of this energy in and send it down into the earth, get it out of my body and calm myself a little bit, just so that I can be level headed, so that everything can go smoothly. And if I hadn't had that skill set, going into today, and then having all the tech issues that I had, I might have had a lot more frustration around what happened, because I would have been like, nothing is working out. And I would have been in this very high, um, it, it's funny because we can say high vibe energy as if it's all like the just love and light and beauty and whatever, but high vibration can feel very, very stressful on our bodies, if it's a very high vibration. So when you're overexcited about something, or when you are, um, and I have this happen to me a lot, and it displays itself as like hyperactivity in my body. I'm very much like a child still in that sense, where it's just like I need to run around waving my arms around, screaming and like, "Ah!" and get it out of my body. And I've learned to accept this about myself. Okay. But um I get like that. Like I really feel those higher vibrations as just this uncontainable excitement in my body that's like actually uncomfortable and does not feel good in my body, and I have to express it in the literal sense of like pushing it out of my body, and not because I don't want to experience any of it, but just the overflow, right? The too much, where the phrase too much of anything is a good thing. It's that same kind of feeling. So, anyways, today, that was a little bit of a tangent, sorry. But today I was able to just ground that in and then go into my session calmer. I also thankfully have my circle, right, where I'm able to be like, hey, like send me some calming. And Jess and Kelly, sent me their energy, their words of like, you've got this, you can, like whatever, all of it. And went into the session completely calm. And um so sorry, a couple of ideas both came into my head at once, so it was like, what am I talking about? um anyway, so I went into it calmly, so then when problems arose, I was able to manage them calmly, come up with a solution, right, and just move forward. And it doesn't have to be perfect in order for it to be still amazing, and for it to still go really, really well. So I was very happy with how it turned out today. Yes, I will edit the replay to cut out the part where like we started and had to stop and start again and whatever, because going out to people, we don't need that. But beyond that, I'm happy with how everything went. I'm happy with the questions that were asked. I'm happy with the shares that were shared after the fact. And all in all, it was amazing. Um, and then I went on to do this live with more tech issues with Kelly, and we just rolled with it, right? I couldn't hear her, so I kept having to mute my phone, listen on my computer, and then mute the computer and talk on my phone, and like keep going back and forth in order for us to have this joint live card pull that we were doing. And it was a spontaneous thing that we decided to do, but we didn't give up. We just kept going with it, right? We just like, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just keep moving. And it's so beautiful and brilliant. And still, the messages were still just as powerful, right? And it was so funny because we were having conversations outside of that card pull with some of the people on the card pull, and those messages that had come through on the card pull were being brought up later in the day, and like, look, see the alignment, right? And it's just really beautiful energy, even with the frustrations, even with the hiccups along the way. It's still just this like, I've got this. Everything is always working out for me. I'm always exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I trust myself to create the experiences I want to have. So I trusted myself going into this thing today that no matter what came up, I was going to handle it. Right. And so it could have been something unusual or unexpected in journey that I would have needed to, um, think on the spot for, or it could have been a tech issue like it was, where I also needed to think on the spot and come up with a solution. So, um, it's this perpetual state of trust in myself to just be able to keep moving. And it's really, really amazing. Um, I am I am realizing that with a bit of overwhelm that came up with having this event coming, and all of the things like, all of the plans that I have coming up for my future event, for my inner circle, for like all of these things, I was starting to hit this point of overwhelm. And um, I realized that I took a little bit of a step back, and I'm not shaming that or even saying that there's anything wrong with it, because I am not the person to say high vibe all the time, right? We need to dip a little bit. We need to come down from that. And as I was saying, that high vibe can be really hard on our bodies. So like stepping back down into calm, into rest, into just like, okay, we're okay here. We're just, we're at a regular pace. And then we can come back up into those high vibe, high pace, high speed. And the sooner that we start feeling the effects and we realize it and step back and calm and slow down a little bit, the faster we get to pick back up momentum again. So for me, this looks like, okay, today, like once my event was done, once all of my coaching was done for the afternoon, all of the things, I was able to just like, oh, okay. And I went and took the dog for a walk, went and grounded outside, came back. I'm doing a couple of little things, but I'm going to bed early tonight. I'm going to give my body the break that it deserves after this last several days of extremely high vibe, high pace, high energy, um, which can be very difficult for my body. So coming into this awareness of, yeah, I was at the point with the high vibe and high energy where I was like, my success is here. It's happening right now. Like I'm seeing it all around me. And I'm not seeing it right now, but right now I'm feeling very much in my success is inevitable. It is coming. And a little bit, I've stepped down that one rung just to like be at a spot, one rung on the ladder is what I mean by one rung. Um, but where I'm just at a point where I can be like, okay, whew, like calming and centering and grounding myself so that I am then ready to step back up into it's here, it's coming, like, oh, it's amazing and it's all falling all over me, right? Because we can't just be in that all the time. We really can't. Or at least in my experience, there is not a way to just be in that state at all times. Um, I really do think that even though it's very positive, we would continue to burn out if we did that. So, um, or start to, or whatever. I think that it would be a recurring thing. Um, so right now I'm at my success is inevitable and fully believing that. Like there's no question in my mind. And a little bit less of the it's falling on my head right now. Okay. So here was the thing that was coming up with that was that the electrons again. So again, I was talking about how we pulled these cards for this one lady, and we were then talking in conversation after with her, and all of the messages that had come through in card pulls were making sense later on for her, and stuff like this. And um, I had there were several conversations today where it was like people, myself included, were celebrating the electrons. So, including my event and the tech issues, including the live and the tech issues, including, all of the things. And then also for other people, and having it just be like, this is the electrons. Yep. Okay. I'm still calling in what I want here. Yep. I'm still on track. Yep. Everything is still exactly how it's supposed to be. And just knowing that, having that awareness of like, yep, this is the electrons and it's all good. This isn't okay. Well, I do not know when my phone cut me off. I hope that I didn't miss too much. I don't think that I did. Um, just judging by like the length of time that I was at on the recording versus the thing that I had accidentally pressed record like right before I started recording this one. I don't know. Whatever. I'm really hoping that it didn't cut too much out of what I was saying because I was having some like powerful moments there. Um I'm talking about some really powerful stuff. So, um going to backtrack a little bit just in case, and hopefully this won't create too much overlap in the episode. Um, but I am, yeah, I'm definitely seeing this trend of things manifesting much, much faster than they usually do right now. And I, for one, am going to use this to my advantage. And that phrase gives me the like it's almost like icky vibes, like using someone to your advantage, but I'm not using someone to my advantage. I'm using energy to my advantage, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I'm verbal processing, sorry, but it's important to remember that sometimes these like catchphrases can give us one perspective, can make us think one thing when they really mean another. And in this case, what I'm saying is not low vibe. Okay, so anyways, the point I was trying to make, the energy right now, I'm going to capitalize on this energy. I am putting out things into the world, and I'm not doing it perfectly. I'm doing it perfectly imperfectly, right? Where I am just getting it out. I am putting it out. I am making moves. I'm taking the action on everything that I possibly can, because I am going to manifest the life of my dreams. I have completely suspended disbelief about that. My success in achieving that is inevitable. It's coming. And I'm ready to receive it. So if that's the case, I need to be moving towards it. So I'm doing my part in co-creating with the universe. And when it comes to all of this, if we are, there are natural, what am I trying to say here? There are natural cycles, there are natural slumps and hills, like up and downs, in the energy in the world. Okay. We have our individual energy cycles, we have our calendar, um, and moon cycles that go about once a month. We have as women, we have our hormone cycles, our menstrual cycles. The planet has cycles with 4 seasons. There's all of these things. There is also, without a doubt, astrological cycles is what it is, the best way that I can put it. Now, I'm no astrologer, but there are times where the energy is very sluggish, and it makes it like it's like time is speeding up while your body slows down. So you're everything feels super slow, but you're not accomplishing anything. You don't feel like you're moving forward. And what's happening in those times is you are slowing down so that you can do the healing, so that you can do the inner work, so that you can do the behind the scenes stuff, right? And then there are times where it's like time slows down and you are just flying, and you are quantum leaping. You are jumping timelines. You are, all of these things. And those are all catchphrases and stuff online now, but they're still real things. And they are something that we want to do when we can. But when we try to do it when there is like an astrological or whatever, energetic, spiritual, whatever cycle that is making things sluggish for us, we're just fighting against our own energy. And it's like plants needing to die or go underground during the winter and then come back up in the spring. We need to roll with the energetic cycles. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to come to a complete stop in the winter seasons, in the slumps. It just means allowing ourselves to slow down and realizing that there are cycles. And then when there are these faster, more higher energy cycles, that we take advantage and we capitalize on them while they're there, so that we have this overflow to then go into the next downward cycle, and accepting every cycle as perfect and exactly what it needs to be. This episode has gone all over the place, but this is the train of my thought. So welcome aboard. Uh, this is how I think on a daily basis, all day long, every day. It's like up and down and all around and sideways, backwards, inside out, like all the things. So bear with me. Hopefully, I'm getting some really key points across here that I feel like I am. But yeah, so I will, if I have the energy, be capitalizing on this energy, on this upward swing in the cycle, because I know that everything that I'm calling in is coming. And now is the time for me to act, for me to move forward, for me to take quantum leaps, for me to take the massive jumps out into oblivion that I have no idea where I'm going to land. All of these things. And this is something I'm incredible at, is leaping, is taking these leaps of faith, not knowing what's coming on the other side, and just being good with it, right? Just being like, yep, I'll figure it out. And trusting myself again to create the experiences that I want to have in that landing from that jump. Now, what I want to really quickly say is that what I'm doing, and this just feels like the most aligned time ever in my life, because the containers that I'm creating are creating the same thing for my clients. I am giving them the opportunity to also leap, but to leap within the energetic holding space of my energy, okay, of being in my containers and taking them with me. As I said, it having helped clients get to the point where now they can pay in full, having helped clients to now be in the electrons, or just like as they're getting into them, being like, what's happening here? And having the awareness to say, what's happening here? And look at it and then know what to do without canceling their manifestations, right? Without putting the brakes on. And all of these things, these are life changing things. These are really, really powerful things. And so for me, I'm just loving the awareness of how the ripples happen, how I learn these things, then I'm able to pass them on to my clients, how it's always like one step ahead, or one, one thing descending, just sending it down to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. And I've realized that what I'm doing, who I'm calling in with my inner circle, is these women who are more like me, who are ready to take big leaps, who are ready to capitalize on this energy and not feel like capitalizing is a gross thing. Not, who are ready to take advantage of the accelerated momentum that is here right now to manifest these huge, huge, and I mean huge outcomes in their lives. And not everybody's ready for that, and that's okay. But the ones who are, and the ones who jump in and take advantage of this energy and don't give themselves any grief or guilt around taking advantage of energy, we're going to change the world together. And I'm just like shivery with delight. I'm starting to talk like my mentor because I'm spending so much time in her energy. She's from the UK and she's got this very British, like, oh, I'm just shivery with delight. Anyways, these are the kinds of things that I don't normally say that are starting to come out of my mouth. But I really just feel this like fizzy, everything is so amazing. Like my face hurts from smiling all the time. Like everything is just like that right now. And I could not be more grateful for this positive momentum, for this upward climb, for this beautiful trajectory that I'm on. And I'm taking the leap. I'm taking the leap again and again and again and again. I jumped in on this summit. I'm jumping on this event that I have coming up. I'm jumping on this mastermind. Like it is like, nope, it's happening, and it's happening right now, and it's happening right now, and it's happening right now. It's my time. I'm ready. I'm ready to rise, and I'm ready to receive. And I am going to create the experiences that I want to have, and I'm going to do it right the fuck now. And I basically just talked myself back into my successes here, guys. So there you go. You got to witness that live action. I just brought myself back up into my successes here, and I'm still going to go to bed. So I love you all. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.